Hey, folks, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18, right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're buying everything you can with pumpkin flavoring, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Yeah, or not. Let's just.
I hear they're making pie now out of this pumpkin spice flavoring.
I think I saw pumpkin spice gasoline the other day.
Yeah.
Well, whatever spice you prefer, it is, of course, time to bring in our rock-hopping Rhesus. Some say he has never had an emergency. And others say he'll guide you to an earth cache with an interpretive dance. All we know is he's called a land monkey.
Yes. We'll move our way so carefully and theatrically to the earth cache. I like that. Guys are silly.
Well, art is important because without art, Earth is just eh.
Too funny. Too funny. Hey, it's Thursday night. It's time to shut the internet down.
Okay.
Let me hit the internet shutdown button right here. Okay.
Right there. Okay, there we go. Hey, we had I was kind of chuckling. I almost laughed out loud as the show started because we had a near miss with our chat lackey. He's for those who maybe are new to the show, we do have someone who in a lot of other podcasts would probably be referred to as a live producer or something like that. We call him the chat lackey, and he keeps an eye on things behind the scenes for us throughout the entire podcast. We appreciate him each and every week. But this week, he almost couldn't get himself off the screen in time. So it was kind of funny. I was having a good laugh. But good times with good friends, good places to be. And hey, speaking of things we appreciate, like our chat lackey, you know what else we appreciate?
Do tell.
Let me tell you what else we appreciate. We appreciate that the support that comes from our patrons each and every week to help this podcast keep on coming. And a special thanks to Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. And hey, we got a new message from Landsharks. It's hot off the presses. Just came in. And they say, we've got a whole lot of exciting new Canadian cacher products in production. Sign up for the newsletter and follow their social media channels to be one of the first to see what these new Canadian cacher products will be. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Very cool. Where would you go to sign up for that newsletter?
Well, I would think you would go to landsharkswiththez.ca.
Oh, yes. That was the address.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, and if you can't remember it...
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you can't remember it, there's probably also a link on cachingnw.com.
I bet you there is right on the front page. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, and more about supporting this show, well, head on over and click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website.
There it is. He's back.
I knew you missed
a website.
A website. How do you spell that word?
Yes. Phonetically.
Okay. Oh, folks, it's time for the glow. We do this each and every week. And because we read a glow every week, we need your help. Would you send us a glow? And you know what I'm going to ask for this time? Since we're talking about earth caches today, I didn't have any more earth cache glows. We need an earth clash glow.
Earth clash glow. Big bong noise.
Things.
How would they send that to you?
I've just swallowed my tongue, so I think I can talk now.
Okay.
So send us different types of glows. Maybe a multi-cache, maybe a mystery, maybe a benchmark. I don't know if I've ever read a benchmark glow.
How about the website Keats94 contributed there?
So, folks, whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a field recording to feedback at tongue came right back up again at cachingnw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and show us how you glow.
Yes, indeedy do. Let's see. This week's glow is from Iceberg Point. Movin' and groovin'. It's GC80 Romeo Zulu 6. And it's from CRS 98. This one is from March of 2019. He says, for our 33rd anniversary, I booked an Airbnb on Lopez Island, and my wife and I headed to the San Juans with our dog in tow. While we had spent a few hours on Lopez once upon a time, we had never really spent any time at all exploring the island, and this long weekend was the perfect chance to rectify that. We had a great time taking hikes all over the island and finding caches along the way. We found most everything we were looking for, save a single DNF, and I signed the log CRS 98, Survivor 98, my wife who never logs online anymore, and GGB. That's Galileo Good Boy, since the dog accompanied us everywhere we went. As the CO well knows, I'm an EarthCache fanatic, so visiting this area was high on my list of things I wanted to do. Oh yeah, it turns out to be stunningly beautiful too. Answers have been sent to the COTFTC.
How very cool.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Been thinking about
inappropriate.
CRS 98 lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in my thoughts and prayers. Hey, folks, if you want to add something to the chat tonight, because, you know, we're a very active group. Wow.
Group.
You know, you talk to Rox has it just right. I think he washed his tongue and can't do anything with it. You need to use the hashtag rocks right there in the live chat. You know where it is. It's somewhere there. Just toss that in there. Hashtag rocks that to tell us something about an earth cache. And of course, we ask you to use hashtag FATAS to bring something up in the after show. Now, we've got a little bit of news tonight from geocaching.com. They had a new blog post this week, and they wrote about duplicate pages. And I thought, duplicate pages? Why? And the first thing I thought is duplicate cache listings?
Yeah, that's
No,
what
that-
I thought too when I saw that. I wasn't sure where they were going with that.
Oh, hey, before this gets too far away, Survivor 98, listen to that with me. She's doing okay.
Oh, we're happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you, CRS 98 and Survivor 98, for listening to us this evening. So geocaching.com has duplicate pages. And I never really thought about that. I guess they do. And they talked about the plan to retire them. So the duplicate pages, anybody got an idea where you could find one?
Anyone? Bueller?
Fry.
No, I guess not.
Nope.
Anyway, some of the new pages that have been redone, you can click. There you go. Brylang says 2 user profile pages,
Oh, yes, of course.
right? You have the old and the new and the homepage. You have an old and a new in the homepage. Yeah. Search, I think, is another one. You have
There's
several.
a handful.
Yeah.
There's
You have several where there's the old page is still active, but you have the option to go to a new page.
Yes.
So HQ has developed these new pages or interfaces based on some user feedback or in-house innovations, and they've kept the old one running to allow people lots of time to transition. I mean, come on, how many times have you seen the post bring back the old Facebook, right?
lots
people
of time,
don't
as in
trans-
years.
Transition well.
Yeah.
HQ has the following to say about the slow transition of these pages. Going forward, we plan to be more proactive about addressing the reasons we're blocking the retirement of duplicate pages. We're planning to do that with the following steps. Implement a known feedback where possible. Set a retirement date and communicate that to the community. Give opportunity for feedback and assess existing and new feedback to continue improving. Now, the reason they have some of these pages is they've got functionality that may not be on that page, but it's tied to a tool that doesn't work right with the new page. So they've got to rework some of these older pages, or has got to rework some tools to work with the newer pages that are actually some often easier to use.
There you go.
But I like the old one. Don't change.
So here's my question to you. Do you guys stick with the old original pages and interfaces, or do you jump to the new ones when they come out? Toss that in the
Personally, oh yeah, I was gonna say personally, I try to use the new one because I figure it's gonna be eventually that's going to be the only option.
Right.
But there's times I do it and I think, I know where it was on the old page. I'm just going to go back and do this thing, especially if I don't have time for what I'm looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. I jump right away into the new ones as well, and I don't go back. If I can't figure something out, I use the opportunity to send feedback to HQ to say, hey, used to be able to do X, can't do X on the new page, or at least I can't find where to do X. And the forums are usually pretty good for that as well, because there'll be lots of activity. As soon as there's a new page, lots of activity in the forums, and everybody talking about, okay, used to do it here, here's where you do it now. And so I don't know. I just try and roll with the change, kind of for the same reason you were saying, Jim. It's like, well, I'm assuming that this is just the way it's going to go, so I may as well learn it.
Yeah.
Keats goes, there's a new one.
Surprise.
Seaback Tribe is on the new pages.
There you go.
Okay.
GeoNav Pro says new ones, but only if they're really better for me. Keats 94 says, I've been a cacher for a decade now. Really, Keats? Wow. I guess I feel old. And I've seen countless changes to the website.
Yeah, lots. All right. Okay, well, that was interesting. And, if you guys have other thoughts around HQ's pages and the changes in retirement and all that kind of stuff, use the hashtag FATAS. Conversation going into the after show.
Exactly.
All right. And of course, we mentioned it earlier, but tonight, and you mentioned before, we're going to take questions on EarthCaching. We're going to talk about changes to geocaching's pages, but really, we're here to talk about EarthCaching. And who doesn't love EarthCaches? Okay, there are a few. But the people here tonight either love or just enjoy them once from time to time.
There you go. All right. So, yeah. So we will definitely go through that. I guess where we would start is for those who perhaps aren't, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. I see.
There you go.
Like
clever.
He loves them.
That is true. I do love earth caches, but
I think his wife is jealous.
If you're new to the concept of earth caching, if you're just dropping into this first time, or if you kind of know about them but you're not really sure what they are, well, let's break this sucker down. But,
what are they anyway?
But yeah, what's an earth cache? Well, it is a form of virtual cache. So there is no physical container to find, but it is an earth science lesson. You will be taken to a specific set of coordinates. At those coordinates, you will be asked to make some observations about something, about the geology at that point, and then answer some questions, usually related to your observation. Send those answers in, and then you can log your find.
Okay. So what if in school we really weren't good at earth sciences? We can't do these then?
And you know what? And I think we'll talk about this a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of coming down to what makes a good earth cache, right? It's like, if you make the science so hard that people are turned off of it, then it's probably not a good earth cache. The idea is to make it approachable. I've heard a few people suggest that the best way to do it is to write it at a, I think they say grade 9 reading level, comprehension level, something like that. I can't remember, but write it so that a junior high student could read it, understand it, and answer the questions. And if you can keep that in mind, you shouldn't really make them unattainable for anyone.
Oh, they're made of unobtainium?
Yes.
Well,
all the time. So when you get to the coordinates, you're going to be asked questions about the trees and the shrubberies, right?
No. Well,
a nice one, not too big.
That's right.
So then obviously it's a waterfall or a glacial erratic.
I think those are the only two that we have in the Northwest.
Yeah. Pretty much it, yeah.
So I make fun.
There you go.
I think it's a grade 5 level.
There you go. Thank you, Keats. Even better than grade 9, grade 5 level.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at these, when you're at the coordinates, I purposely said, non-geology things, trees and shrubs and what have you, because it's certainly all about geology.
That's the
It's
intent.
not it's not just nature.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I say this because I think that confuses some people. They're like, well, I see the trees growing here and they're growing at an odd angle, and it's not about that.
Well, you know what though? So you just touched on something that could you could use something like that as an observation and questions for an Earth cache, as long as you're basing it on the geology. So, well, why are the trees here growing at an odd angle? And if it's because of the angle of repose of the hillside, due to a landslide or something like that, and you can walk people through that logic and help them understand what occurred from a geological standpoint that caused the trees to look the way they are. Well, then you're teaching geology, right? You're teaching people to observe the world, observe the earth around them, and to start to be able to break things down and make assessments and gain understanding about the earth through those observations.
I'm good at breaking things.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. But he can also put them back together.
He's really good at fixing things.
Most of the time, yes. That's a skill that I've acquired because I'm so good at breaking things. They kind of go hand in hand. Yeah. Hey, I'm just going to, excuse me, my throat just clogged up there. Throw out a question that's probably an obvious duh question, but it just occurred to me as you were describing them. Is it possible to have a physical something at an Earth cache, or are they always virtual?
Have a physical container? I don't.
Yeah.
So to have like a logbook to sign, because I mean.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, it wouldn't be really Earth cache, or would it? I don't know. It just occurred to me when you said that.
Yeah. By its definition, it does not have a physical container. So you could put a container there and put a logbook in it and say, while you're here, sign the logbook, but you can't make that a condition of finding the Earth cache. You still have to have the earth science.
Okay. And who doesn't love earth science, really? Well, we're going to talk about Earth caches, and why not start with some of the most popular Earth caches in the Pacific Northwest? And I'm kind of partial to Washington State because 2 out of 3 hosts of this podcast live in Washington State. So
2 out of 3 hosts surveyed.
Yeah, majority rules in this case. The top one, according to this list, is OMAC Rock. It's a balancing act. Which, look at that. There's a unique visual aid just popped up on the podcast there.
Rocks. That is so cool.
That is very cool.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but it looks really good on an audio podcast.
How big this rock is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably hear in our voices how big this rock is.
If you're not watching and just listening, you can't truly appreciate it, but you can go over to GC7 Hotel Echo Papa 7 and check it out. It's I assume it's in OMAC. It's the OMAC Rock.
Looks that way.
It's a 40-ton, that's 36 metric tons, granite boulder.
So where is OMAC?
OMAC is in, I'm going to probably have somebody correct me, but I say it's in north central Washington State.
Yeah. Oh, okay. North central. It might be considered northeast.
Northeast slightly, yeah.
Yeah. But right in that area. Yeah.
So like out to like the Okanagan area?
Let's see if I can look up.
No, Brian Lang in the chat, he's saying off Highway 20.
Highway 20, there you go. So OMAC is famous for the OMAC Stampede, a big rodeo and horse event there.
That is, I mean, Balancing Rock.
Eventually
cool.
You'll be able to check that out.
Yeah.
Your time will come again.
Good point. And not immediately.
Yeah, so I see it on the map as about halfway between Wenatchee and Spokane, but farther north than that imaginary line.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. I've driven through that region before, but never detoured for that. So I'll have to make that.
Yeah, I've never seen that one in person. I'm going to check that out. That's a good one.
Super.
I don't know how many of these we want to go down. Another one is Larabee State Park. Rock Trail.
A few times.
Have you?
Yep. Done a lot of hiking in Larabee State Park.
Okay. So you're very familiar with that one. That one is not a balancing rock.
No, which one? Which Earth cache?
This is the Larabee State Park Rock Trail Earth Cache.
Okay, I'm sure I've done it. I'm just
GC3
curious
X
what that is.
X-ray Zulu Bravo 6.
I can think of Oyster Dome is an Earth cache in Larabee State Park, and then there's another one near the Canadian border-ish. That's about right. Larabee State Park is just south of Bellingham.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
North of Cedar Woolley,
There you
kind of somewhere in between there.
Basically, it's tucked right in between Bellingham and Cedar Woolley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful park, and there's a handful of Earth caches in that park for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else you got up here or down there in Washington?
Well, Lewitt Falls at Mount St. Helens is a big one there. Let's see if I've got the code for you on that one. It is GC2 Foxtrot Echo Bravo 6. That is an awesome but easy hike into the blast zone of Mount St. Helens.
That would be interesting.
The outfall stream of the crater. Yeah, that one looks good. Cache
Does
seekers.
know if Mount St. Helens is open to walk through?
Last I heard, it was not. Somebody tried to go down there recently, as recent as a month ago, I think.
Okay.
But obviously, if your travel plans take you in that area, do your due diligence and check the website or call the ranger station or whatever in the area before you go out there. Because if you've ever driven to the Johnston Ridge Mount St. Helens Visitor Center, it's a long, long, long road, and there's nothing else on it. When you get to the visitor center, you have to turn around and drive that long, long road back. So it's a neat drive, but you might be disappointed if you get to the end and the visitor center is not open.
Yeah, that would be definitely disappointing. Is it Mount St. Helens? Is it closed because of COVID? Is that
last I heard? Yeah, the visitor center museum part was.
Oh, okay.
So I think a lot of the hiking trails might still be open in that area.
Okay,
but I
that's
don't
what I
know.
was going to ask. Okay. So
Yeah, I don't know that for sure. So
all right. Well, time to
let's
figure
see.
that
Number
out.
4 on the list is Gardner Cave.
Yes. Now that truly is in the northwest corner.
Okay,
I'm sorry, northeast corner.
northeast corner. Have you done that one?
No. But they have in there, Land Monkey, correct my pronunciation. Is it Speleothemes? Speleothemes? Speleothemes. Okay.
Limestone caves.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, Gardner Cave was named for Ed Gardner, who's a longtime resident and moonshiner in the area. So,
Ooh, nice.
yeah. He discovered the cave about 1899. And who knows?
You know what he's doing in there.
Maybe there's some hidden hooch in there still. You never know.
You never know. It's worth going and looking.
That's right. And if you're going, why not log the Earth cache while you're there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then number 5, I'm not going to go on this huge long list because there are a lot of them, but I just love the name of this one is Saltwater Sandstone and Swiss Cheese.
That's near Bellingham as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to take your word for that. Oh yes, I see on the map here. It's near Chuckanut Village.
Chuckanut.
Chuckanut.
I love that term.
Chuckanut. Chuckanut.
Chuckanut.
Isn't that what you do at your family members at Christmas
Sometimes.
when they're being obnoxious? At least that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, Chuckanut.
Yeah. This one's one of those caches that you really should check the tide chart before you go.
Yeah.
At minus tides, you can skirt the edge of the sandstone cliffs for half a mile and get there. But, do some preparation, plan ahead. Visit this cache at low tides. Says so right in the description.
There you go. Ta-da.
Well, I'm going to bring up one more. It's a little farther down the list, but
Okay.
it's one I've been to. The Ape Caves. Now, that's right near Mount St. Helens.
Yes,
And these Ape Caves are actually lava tubes.
they are. I've
That has come through and then recessed.
I've
Yeah, I've
hiked
always
those
wanted to
long
go there.
before geocaching, or before I was geocaching.
I don't know. A few years ago, my son wanted to go camping, and we looked at it and said, "Well, let's go towards Mount St. Helens." And one of the things he wanted to do was go through the Ape Caves. So that was a lot of fun to explore as far as you can. It slowly narrows down till there's a point you can go no further.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember it was a long time ago. I was in my early 20s and we went down there with a couple of friends. We got to one of those points and I was down on my belly, sliding under rock to get into the very last little cave, cistern in the cave system. I'm thinking, there's no way I could do that now. I'd be so
Oh, you could, but you would be there. You would be a permanent resident.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But
Yeah, I really wanted to go see those, but I know that I checked recently, and that is one thing that's closed due to COVID because there's not a lot of moving air in there.
contained
Right.
space for
Yeah, so yeah.
sure.
So, there's 2 tunnels. In fact, Seaback Tribe mentions that. There's a short tunnel and then the upper tunnel that you can climb out. So the one tunnel, I consider it, I don't know what's upper and lower. When you climb down into it, if you keep going forward, that's the main tunnel that's easy to walk through. If you turn around and go the other way, that tunnel has not been cleared. So there is a lot of debris. It takes a lot of, working and slithering your way through to get through there. So, we did as much as we could until it got to a point of like, this kind of really isn't worth it now.
Yeah. Passage is blocked by the bones of geocachers.
Exactly.
Didn't make it out.
Right near the top of the Ape Caves, there is a geocache, not too far off that you can go find. But it was a lot of fun. I personally love caves and spelunking. So
Very cool.
yeah, it really is. And there's that that feeling of exploration.
Yeah,
Ape Caves are fun to do.
And spelunking is just a fun word.
it really is.
Yeah. Are you doing anything? Do you want to spelunk? I've been slapped for asking women that before.
I bet you get slapped for a lot of things.
Well, you have no idea.
Hey, I'll throw out one more from the Washington list. This is in the Winthrop Twisp area, Okanagan. I just love the name. It's No One Does the Hoodoo Like You Do.
Oh, hoodoos.
Yes.
There would be a lot of hoodoos up in that area.
Yeah, hoodoos are cool.
They are. Hoodoos, very similar to balancing rocks in the way that they form. So, but
Erosion is involved, I do believe.
erosion is definitely involved. Yeah. Erosion or incredibly strong people. Yes.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Let's see. Seaback Tribe says, I love the meatball boulder in the short tunnel. I haven't done the upper tunnel yet.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to going back one day.
Now I gotta go. Yeah.
I was going to say, maybe when the world opens again, we could do a Caching the Northwest hiking trip through the Ape Caves, because I'd love to go see them.
Just to Mount St. Helens in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey,
Yeah,
there was. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was frustrated when I was there because, we stayed at one spot and then we thought we'll just drive to the Ape Cave. Oh, no, you have to go 20 miles out to the freeway,
Yeah.
north, and then 20 miles back in. Yeah. Just make a road between these two. Okay.
You didn't pack your jetpack?
No.
Not that time.
No, there was a fire hazard that year.
Yes,
so
that's
we didn't
true.
bring the jetpack.
Jetpacks were forbidden.
Mhm.
We had a comment from CRS 98 earlier. He noted he's created 3 Earth caches in Canada, and he doesn't think that I've done any of them. It's possible that I haven't. I've done a lot of Earth caches. I can't recall if I've done yours or not, so I'll have to go and check that out.
He's probably saving the best for last.
CRS 98, on behalf of Caching in the Northwest, I apologize for Land Monkey.
That's right.
Well, let me know where they are. Tell me, shoot me some GC codes, and I'll take a look. All right.
I don't know if this is family friendly, but Kid Vegas 19 says we did the hoodoo on our honeymoon.
Okay.
To each their own.
Yeah, exactly.
You do your own.
And I'm really hoping he's talking about geology.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Another interesting Earth cache IHAM's brought up is one. I've done this one as well. It is pretty cool. It's in Utah. It's GC. This is his log. I see. GL X-ray 8 Golf Charlie
Charlie.
5 Juliet is his log. The earth cache is called Devil's Slide, and it is a pretty cool earth cache. I agree.
Oh, all of CRS 98's Earth caches are in the Banff area.
Ah, okay. Well, I haven't done
Banff
a
is
lot
kind
in the
of fun to
Banff
say.
area.
Not as much fun as Twisp.
Right.
Uh,
And everybody loves hump tulips, but that's a whole different story.
yeah, I know. The best name for a town ever. Well, we talked about some of the most favorited earth caches in Washington. I'll knock things up a little north here of the border, and we can talk about some of the favorite earth caches up here in British Columbia.
Yeah.
One of the top ones is the Ticklish Heritage Trail, which I have done. It does make you giggle when you get Ticklish. It is quite a hike. It is about 800 meters up of hiking to do that earth cache, but it's definitely worthwhile. It is pretty cool. You have an amazing view of the Fraser River from that one.
That is a terrain 4. That's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's a heck of a hike for that one. Another one here, the Upana Caves, which is on Vancouver Island, towards the west side of Vancouver Island, towards the north. I haven't done that one, but I've been into the same. It's in an area with a lot of karst geology, so there's lots of caves and disappearing rivers and all that kind of stuff there. It's super, super cool. Crooked Falls Earth Cache. I'm not sure where that one is.
Not to be confused with Mosquito Falls. That's different.
Yes, that is different. Mosquito Falls is in Old Country, and there is no earth cache there.
Well, there should be.
I have not done this one, but it is owned by a friend of mine, Mr. Hippo. It is, where is this? Squamish Valley. Okay. So it'd be a bit of a hike into that one, but that looks pretty cool. I'll have to go check that out sometime. That looks quite nice.
You had the opportunity to paddle through a sea cave.
You know what?
That's the name of an earth cache.
It is.
It is. And the land sharks, and I did that the day before my birthday.
Oh, happy
Very nice.
birthday again.
Yeah, thanks. But that was on our bucket list. I absolutely wanted to do that earth cache for years. And so on my birthday trip, this is a destination. We're going here. And,
that sounds great.
And it was amazing. So there is a lot of video that was taken for that trip. So follow my YouTube channel and you will eventually see it.
I was going to say, if anybody would ever post that, no.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, no. You got lots of irons in the fire there.
Yeah, I'm always up to something.
There you go. There's a shot of the
there you go.
land shark right there.
There they are. I took that photo.
Well, you put it up on the website, so apparently you gave it back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, that is a very, very cool earth cache. And then there's a number of other great ones in here. Painted Bluffs, I think that one's up in Gold Country. Serpentine Lake, just outside of Hope in the Coquihalla area. And then I'm gonna call out this next one here, the Fraser River Plume. That's my earth cache. It's the 8th most favorited in BC, but regardless of that, I think it's a lot of fun because it is out in the middle of the Salish Sea, and the Fraser River, when it flows out, you can actually see a line. Yeah, thanks, Bryling. You can actually see a line of where the water changes from the Fraser River water to the ocean water.
Oh, nice.
That's the Fraser River Plume, and I think it's pretty cool. So if you're taking the ferry over to Nanaimo, you will cut right across it, and so I've set some approximate coordinates because it, of course, moves constantly due to its nature. But I thought that's kind of it was a neat phenomena I had observed a number of times, and Mrs. Monkey and I finally decided, you know what, we're going to make this an earth cache, and we did.
GSM times 2 has a great question. What makes these good earth caches?
That is a great question. So of the ones of these that I have done, I would say it's a combination of two things. One is it's something unique about the geology. It's brought you somewhere where there's something very evident. It's not like you have to kind of, oh, if I squint and I turn my head sideways, I can almost see the thing that you're talking about. It's in your face. Whatever the geology is that you're learning about, it's super clear. And then I think the second part of what makes all of these really good earth caches is that they're written up well, so that the geology is simple and clear, and the questions are not ridiculously difficult, and it's a good earth cache.
Well, Land Monkey, that brings up another good question.
What's that, man?
Do you take the time to study the earth cache before you go out? Or is it something that you do like geocaching? You just happen to be out and about and, oh, look, there's an earth cache. Let's go do it.
Most of the time I'm prepping for them. I do a little bit of reading before I go, so I understand what I'm going to be looking at. And the main reason I do that is because some earth caches require you to bring something special with you, like a thermometer or something like that, to make your observations. And I don't want to get, a long time ago, I got caught shorthanded, and wasn't able to do an earth cache because I needed something and I didn't have it. So, now if I know, because I mean, generally, if you know you're going on a particular hike or you're going in a particular park or on a particular vacation, you'll have a good sense. There's not that many earth caches out there relative to other geocache types that you'll have a good sense of, okay, I'm going for. You can skim read through them, go, okay, this is what I'll need to observe. This is what I'll need to know. You don't need to understand all of the science before you go. But yeah, that would be my approach.
Well, and land sharks contribute. We enjoy them most when the hider knows what they're talking about, and it's apparent in the listing that they really know their topic.
It helps.
So yeah, I think that goes hand in hand with what you're saying there.
Yeah, for sure.
So I remember that on a trip down to GeoWoodstock, Daryl W4 and I hit several earth caches, and one of them was an artesian well, and they wanted you to measure flow rate.
Right.
Well, as we're driving, we didn't have anything, but it said in the description, there's a 5-gallon bucket nearby. All you have to do is time how long it takes to fill the 5-gallon bucket. Okay, that's easy enough. But luckily that was there. Otherwise, that would be really tough.
Yeah.
I was going to look at this one and see if your name was on it, but I see your name is on it as the CO, because I figured you belonged at the Wall of Earth Cache fame.
Yeah, I made that. That's kind of a neat one. There's a handful of earth caches I've done where it's the earth cache is based on the geology of the stones that a building is made out of. I've seen those done well. I've seen those done okay. If they're done well, it can be interesting. Sometimes you can even spot fossils in the stone on the side of a building and things like that. It could be interesting. This one in particular it's the Earth Sciences building at the University of British Columbia, and the exterior of the building has numerous, I'm not even sure how many, about 30 maybe, probably more than that, like 8 foot by 8 foot slabs of different types of stone on display all the way around the outside of the building. And so this earth cache asks you to kind of walk around that and learn a little bit about those slabs and make some observations. So that's kind of cool. I thought it was a neat spot.
I think we walked around downtown Portland looking at stone and buildings.
We did. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a multi-point earth cache.
It's a good memory.
That amazed me that there were that many buildings with different types of rock readily available on them. It's one thing, there's some nice rock on that building. And on that, but I never thought of, wow, in downtown Portland, there's 9 buildings here with different rock, and some of them had some incredible features.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Seabeck Tribe says, speaking of being ready for an earth cache prepared, that happened to me just this year. I needed pH strips and white vinegar. Had neither, and there was no store nearby.
Oh my goodness, that is very specific things to need for an earth cache.
Yeah.
That would suck. That would be annoying to, because it probably wasn't anywhere close to home either, I would imagine.
GSM times 2 says one of my favorites is the fossils in one of the air terminals
Oh,
at Denver Airport.
Very cool.
good deal.
I've there's the main train station in Stockholm in Sweden has the floor is made out of stone that's just loaded with fossils. It's fascinating. You're just, everybody's just walking over it. And you're like, but stop! Look at where you're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And UDAC was with GSM times 2 at the Earth Cache in Denver.
Oh, great.
That's cool.
Fun to cache in pairs there.
And Kid Vegas 19 walked around buildings with Daryl W4 in Detroit looking for fossils in the building block.
Nice.
Apparently not that unusual an activity then. Huh?
No.
There you go.
Well, let's see. Doramore contributed as far as earth caches go. My least favorite question is estimate the height. I'm hopeless at that.
Well, the good news is it's an estimation. So, you can kind of go, that might be a meter. And so then you've got 10 meters. So
Yeah.
it's an estimation. Most COs are going to be pretty generous with it.
At least if they try.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Exactly.
I mean, on my Earth Cache, it tells you right there in the plaque in front of you the height of the mountain. I figure you have a GPS, right? So you know your elevation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, the height of the rock face. You should be able to do that math.
It's about an inch.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I think that's what my answer was. This much.
Yeah.
How about that much?
In fact, you could take a picture with your phone of your fingers and the mountain and say it's this high.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Speaking of
go ahead.
logs on Earth caches, have you how many? Well, does it happen often that you get a log rejected for an Earth cache?
Very rarely, but it happens. I think twice it's happened.
Well, percentage-wise, that's really not very many for you. It
No,
would be a
that's
much
not
larger
very-
percentage if I had 2 of them rejected.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever have had one rejected. But to be fair, I do very few earth caches, so
There you go. Thinking about people heading out to go get their souvenir because that's this weekend. So we're talking about earth caching. It made me start thinking about, okay, well, if people are heading out to go find earth caches and they're very specifically looking for earth caches this coming weekend, I wonder what are the loneliest earth caches? How far would people be willing to go and find an earth cache? So I did a little bit of Project GC research, and the loneliest earth cache in British Columbia is the Black Dome Earth Cache that has not been logged for 1,828 days.
that's a long time.
That is a long time. And that is, where is that? That is about 250 kilometers north of the border. It's it's the northern edge of the Camel's Foot Range.
Hmm.
So it's just outside of Gold Country there.
It's 5 years, by the way, when you can do the conversion.
Yes,
Wow.
the last log on it is August 22nd, 2014.
Now,
Wow.
why is that? Why has it been so lonely for so long?
I'm going to guess it's just tough to get to. This particular one is, this particular one looks like it's a heck of a way to get to it. The last person who logged it says, very excited to have finally made it to Churn Creek over the weekend. It was an epic trip totaling 1,100 kilometers, most of which was on dirt roads. So yeah, I'm guessing that's why this is lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. What do you got in Washington State? What's the loneliest one there? Or
Not
yeah.
sure.
Well,
Or
while
you-
you're looking,
yeah.
Kid Vegas 19 says, I've never been rejected, but the CO have let me know where I went wrong. To me, EarthCache cache owners are the best.
Yes, they're pretty good. And
And
that's, yep. Go ahead.
oh no, Seaback Tribe says I've had one rejected, but I did have to answer several questions about one of her questions. I couldn't figure out what she was looking for until she finally told me. Then it was a oh yeah moment.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
can't
that's
really say
good.
that.
I mean, I think Kid Vegas and Seaback Tribe both make really good points there. That it's about trying to just make that how do I say it? Make it accessible. Make the science accessible. Help people learn, right? So, if it just like if somebody just says nope, like when you were saying earlier, have I ever had answers rejected? It was more like Seaback Tribe's experience that there was a bunch of back and forth with two Earth caches I can recall that happening, where my initial answers, they're like, yeah, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. And so it's like, okay, well, yeah, help me out. Clearly I missed something on the science here. So what are we trying to get to here? So as long as people are willing to work through that.
I've gotten to a point on my Earth cache. I know when people are answering from Wikipedia and not from the site.
Right.
The answers are just different enough. I look at it and I go, send me a picture. Let me know you were there. Or, and you don't hear back from them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you really weren't there. But this, I have to say, Boomer 365. Sorry, I lost the name for a moment.
We were wondering where you were going with that. Yeah.
I worry logging an Earth cache is the only cache in the day with my streak. I might get rejected. Oh yeah.
Well, do an Earth cache and a traditional. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
CRS 98 says, as an Earth cache owner, I never reject answers. If people try, I only reject them if they refuse to even give it a shot.
Yeah.
I've
Wikipedia answers.
Yeah, I've only deleted a log once on one of my Earth caches, and it was somebody had claimed an FTF on one of my Earth caches, and after close to 2 weeks, still had not sent me the answers and wasn't responding to me asking them for answers. So it's like, sorry, you can't have FTF.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
You can again after somebody else has gotten FTF, but I'm not going to give FTF on an Earth cache to someone who can't even bother sending the answers in. So
yeah. I looked up the loneliest caches in the U.S., and the top one is Little Black. It has not been logged since 2012.
Ooh.
And that's way over on the northern tip of Maine, just outside of Quebec.
So
over the border there.
Weekend trip.
Yeah, especially from here.
Yeah.
It does look like it's northwest Maine, depending on where you're standing in Maine at the time. And actually, looking at the cache page, it's only been found once.
Oh, wow.
It was published in 2010 and logged once in 2012. So it was a lonely cache when it was found, and it's even lonelier now.
Wow, that's amazing.
As a Earth cache owner, that's got to tell you something, right?
Yeah, you maybe made it a little too difficult.
Well, if I can do it, other people can do it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But apparently other people don't want to do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I thought was interesting when I took a quick look at the stats of the loneliest Earth caches in the USA, is how many of the loneliest Earth caches in the entire USA are in Maine and California. Now, California it's a big state.
It is.
And there's lots of desert and mountains and probably really hard to get to places. So, okay, I can see there'd probably be some pretty lonely Earth caches there. But Maine surprised me. I thought, I mean, okay, it's a big-ish state, but I mean, it's pretty populous, and it's not that mountainous or anything, is it?
I want to say it seems there are areas that are relatively inaccessible.
No, I guess.
It might be the main reason.
I think that might be.
There you go. Well, of the top couple hundred there, the two that are in the state of Washington is one in Soap Lake, the Soap Lake volcano.
Not
And
the lava lamp?
no, not the lava lamp. Was it the something? What was the ooze that rules the world? Mystical. What was
The
the
mystical ooze that
that
rules.
rules the world? There's a song about that. I looked for it the other day and couldn't find it. If you find that song, let me know where you find that song. And let's see, the other one is Silver Lake, and that is out on the peninsula, Squim, Dungeness, Olympic Mountains area. So
So it's probably
that-
a little tougher area to get to.
yeah, that one was found also in 2012, just like the one in Maine. And the Soap Lake cache was found. Oh, it was found recently, this month or last month, September 2020. So apparently, I created a map from that filter, and I don't know why it came up there, but it did. But the Soap Lake volcano, there you go.
Very cool. Excellent. So that's there's some destinations for people to consider for either International Earth Cache Day or, just the land sharks. You got Soap Lake Volcano. There you go. And Land Shark said, Land Monkey, what's the second most lonely Earth cache? Because Black Dome is about to become unlonely.
Nice.
Yeah,
If you get that one, take some pictures and send them in to cachingnw.com.
Indeed.
In fact, maybe a field recording.
You could do
So
a field report.
the second loneliest one in BC is actually one that's on my list of somewhere I would love to get back to. I've gone there a number of times before geocaching. Nikamin Ridge. It's our chat lackey's been there too. In fact, I think our chat lackey might have been the last person who logged it, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look and see here. All right, Nikamin Ridge, that's in Manning Park. And the last log, nope, Stella Bailey.
Stella Bailey.
And that is in 2017.
Brylang logged it in 2012.
2012. But yeah, not a lot of logs on that one. Only 6 logs on that one. But it's a good hike. It's about I don't know. I'm gonna ballpark it at about 20-kilometer hike into that one. So
Wow.
yep, 20K from the trailhead, Brylang says. So there you go. Good guess. But yeah, so there you go. Fun stuff. And we're hoping everybody's going to get an opportunity to get out and get their earth caching souvenir. So certainly, picking an earth cache and doing. We talked earlier about prepping once you decide which one you're going to go for, so that what kind of observations you need to make, and you've got a pretty good likelihood that your log won't get rejected. How about you two guys? Do you have anything picked out yet?
Not yet, but I may try to go out and get something. You've inspired me, this podcast.
Awesome.
Yes. I've looked at a couple, and I'm kind of Land Monkey. Maybe you're rubbing off on me, and this may not be a good thing, but I'm kind of thinking I don't want to do one close to the house. Just when that Earth Cache weekend comes up, and maybe I can't travel, I want to keep that one. So I'm looking at one a little farther away, and that's terrible.
Well, you're gonna take your son and go out exploring somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I think
Nice.
so.
Good stuff.
Let's see, there are a few that I haven't found in the area. Yeah, and well, there's one out on Maury Island. Maybe I'll go out there.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh, I think I found that one already. Now that I zoom in, it turned from a dot to a smiley. So
Is that one of
But
the
yeah.
islands you've gone to for work?
yeah, it's connected to Vashon Island. Vashon Maury are connected with a land bridge. Isthmus, I believe is the term.
Merry Isthmus.
Yes.
Nice.
A little early in the year for that, but yeah.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not far off.
Costco's already
Anyway.
got their Christmas trees up, and I go, no, that's too wrong. That's
Wow.
wrong.
Yeah, that's a little early.
Yeah, the decorations were up at or for sale at Costco
Yeah, that's wrong.
a couple weeks ago. It's like, okay.
I guess that's that then. All right.
Yeah. Well,
hope
there's one I want to mention. It's
Yes.
my Earth Cache. I've already
Yeah.
talked about it, but I've said it before on the podcast, and it's just one of those things that stick in my craw. So, hashtag rant. Feel free to fast forward over this if you don't want to hear. Back in 2018, I got a DNF on my Earth Cache, and that was, there were fires in that area in 2017, and the log reads, visited the site, seen lots of dead trees on a hilltop, fire damage, read about the Mather Memorial Parkway, and I'm on vacation. I'm not writing an essay for a smiley, frowny for me.
Okay.
And, it's just one of those that, like I say, it sticks in my craw because, well, they're not even going to try, but they went to the effort of logging a DNF.
It probably took just as much time and effort.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll log that one this weekend because I hear Wikipedia is a good tool to use for that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is, if you want to get it wrong.
Oh, we love to give.
Let's see. CRS 98 says loneliest Earth cache in BC is actually GC Quebec Mike X-Ray Whiskey, placed in 2005, and FTF is still available.
That's the Iskut River Hot Springs Earth Cache.
So
there was a DNF.
We can log FTF and then say we'll send the answers later.
There you go. Iskut River. Oh, where the heck is that? Iskut River.
North of me.
Yeah. It's placed by the South Surrey Scavengers.
Oh,
it's north of Prince Rupert yet. It's up there.
Well, that's why it's lonely. North of Prince Rupert is very north and
it's
west.
north of Ketchikan.
Yep. That's going to be tough to get to. I won't be doing that one this weekend.
I wonder if I could Wikipedia that one.
Please don't.
I'm just kidding. I will not do that. No.
Okay.
I might Wikipedia CNW cache, but no, I wouldn't do that.
I dare you. Seabeck Tribe says, I'm going for the Earth cache on the Tacoma waterfront in Ruston. I believe that's wigwam to wetland.
That's one I have done on a prior Earth cache weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
That's the nearest one to my house, I believe. I've got an idea for Earth cache. I just can't figure out how to. It's not visible. I have to find a spot that's right to.
I logged that one in 2014.
There you go.
So maybe it wasn't for Earth cache weekend.
Poor lonely.
Did that one on a previous poor lonely Earth cache. Yeah, that's right, Keats. I think I've done that one as well. The wigwam wetlands one.
Lonely caches don't start counting until somebody finds it for the first time.
Yeah, so there's a difference between unfound
and lonely.
Ah, okay.
But good points all. And I mean, still Cliff is technically correct. That's the Earth cache that has gone the longest in BC without being found would definitely be that one. Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, lonely caches is just something that you can look up in Project GC, and so I was using that as a way of seeing what was around in different regions because I thought it was kind of interesting because it's kind of fun to find lonely caches, to go places people, or at least go places geocachers haven't been for quite some time, and kind of be the first one there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's just funny as I've gone back to my geocaching homepage. Right at the top, it says, this is the new dashboard experience. If you prefer, you can go back to the old page.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. I just, saw that. And it's like, yeah, you see that all the time, but now it kind of takes on a new emphasis.
New emphasis.
So, are you guys all planning to do we know we're doing something for Earth Cache Weekend. We hope you guys are as well. We see some of the plans. Let us know. You know what? Better yet, call into 253-693-TFTC and let us know about that Earth Cache that you did this weekend for your souvenir.
Yes, we definitely want to hear from you guys about those. All right. Well, what do you think? Should we thank our listeners for tuning in?
Kid Vegas says 19 says we are now.
There you go. Peer pressure. It works every time.
Exactly. I think so. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest. We are working hard on some great episodes coming up. We're going to have people that I think you're really going to enjoy. We just got to work out some dates with them.
Absolutely. Yep. We're very excited about the shows we have coming up and hope you're going to enjoy them as well. Stay tuned to our social media. You'll find out first there of who the new guests are as we get things ready and rolling. But of course, at this point of the show, I want to switch gears and have a minor shark attack here while I thank our Land Sharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and remember, they are still shipping online orders daily. We also want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Landsharks, JP's Geo Designs, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click that Patreon link on the CachingNW.com, a website.
You know, like person in the chat that we've mentioned today, you talks to rocks.
Yes, and Subway Mark.
And the GeoNav Pros.
And Logwork
Sege Hove.
Kev MacD.
on a boat. Could be a
Sprout.
kayak.
Oh, yeah, could be. Sprouter.
Boomer 365.
Wino Seattle. Sorry for waking up the baby.
Keats 94. He's off for that lonely Earth cache.
Yes. He's going to have to race the sharks for it. Ala Robrick.
Team Noltex.
Wet Coaster.
Trexer Zero.
Genice.
LG 9000.
Our very own giver of the glow, CRS 98.
And the Camp Clan.
B. Pendragon.
Dora Moore.
Kid Vegas 19.
MC.
Say it again. Your audio cut out.
MC3 Cats.
There you go.
You're so cool the mic couldn't keep up.
That's right.
Also in the chat with us tonight, Seabeck Tribe.
I'd like to thank Green Words.
Kennel Barb.
M Nerve.
Fairwood West.
GSM. ×2.
The Geo Travelers.
T. Sayer.
Billy Robson.
Hacker Doc.
Limax.
Broncos fan. For life.
Tick Magnet.
And Antaeus. One of these weeks, we got to have Land Monkey try to read them all in one breath again. Build up your lung capacity.
All right, I'll start working on it.
All right. Well, thank you to all of them. And the threes of us, you can figure out from the titles on the screens or the sounds of our voices. But you can find Chris of the Northwest, Land Monkey GC, and Wits End over at CachingNW.com/hosts. Find all our social media links and bios and all that jazz.
Ooh, jazzy. Hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call in to 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, email us a bag of rocks any time of the day or night. And, of course, you can email us at feedback@CachingNW.com. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website and subscribe on Google Play. What are you doing over there, Land Monkey?
What?
I'm telling people where to subscribe, and I see all these things popping up here. Okay. On iTunes. Okay, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Give us a thumbs up or a review. I am not your puppet. This show's produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2020 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
Very nice. I like the after show.
Most people do.
It's a crowd favorite. What else have we got?
Well, it starts tonight with a FATAS from IHAM that says, search is really the only page where I go back to. I use the new pages for pretty much everything else.
Okay.
That'd be interesting feedback to HQ as to why you don't use the new search page or why you find it doesn't meet your needs.
Why wouldn't it?
I don't know. That's why I'm curious about it, and I'm sure HQ would. I'm hearing. Keats94 says hashtag FATAS applied for a new job. Wish me luck.
Awesome.
Good luck, Keats.
Hooray.
Yeah, way to stick your neck out there. It's never, well, not never, but it's usually not a pleasant experience to apply for when I've done it. It's stressful and
It's stressful.
scary, but I'm excited for you. Good things are ahead.
Yep. You'll do well, buddy. We know you'll land on your feet.
Yep.
And Kid Vegas 19 says good luck as well.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are wishing them luck.
Yeah, there's a lot of support there.
A lot of love in our chat family here. I love it. All right. There you go, Keats. How can you go wrong? You got the whole chat family from Caching in the Northwest behind you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Keats wants to do another game night sometime.
that would be fun.
You know
I
what?
totally missed that. Do you know what I did instead of game night?
Maybe that's why it was fun.
I was
say it out
editing, I was editing video, and then I got really tired and I went to bed. And the next morning I woke up and I went, I was supposed to be somewhere.
Supposed to do something.
Yeah.
So we did Sunday night last time, and the next most popular vote was a Wednesday night. Does Wednesday night work for you fellows?
Interesting.
Depends on the time.
Yeah.
I have a Wednesday night commitment earlier, but if we do it at 9 o'clock for our normal time, I could probably make something work.
Okay. I'll see what I can work out.
Very cool.
And more good lucks, Keats.
There you go.
Land Sharks.
Keats.
Look at the hearts. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
giving some love back. Nice. And yes, Land Sharks say we have new off-road tires and they're in gold country. Happiness is a full tank of gas, a 4x4,
Wow.
and new tires.
Now I can be jealous of them on about 17 levels.
Yeah, who can afford a full tank of gas anymore?
I know
No
it.
kidding, right?
I fill my gas tank, it doubles my car's value.
That's awesome. Well, be safe out there, Land Sharks, and have fun.
And I see somebody contributed the link to the giant lava lamp song from Soap Lake, Washington.
Well, I had to go to
We'll
the
just
internet Wayback
share
Machine.
that. I haven't looked at that yet, but it did. The word I was looking for did pop in my head. It was the paradoxical ooze that rules the world.
Paradoxical.
Yes,
So-
I knew it was a longer word.
You know,
I know-
it's one of those songs that you go, really? But it kind of sticks with you.
There was a plan on the internet. Somebody was going to build the world's largest lava lamp in Soap Lake, Washington.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't think it ever happened or even really got started, but there was a website about it, and somebody wrote a song.
Of course.
It was a very interesting, mellow song that somebody might have been partaking of lava lamp before. I don't know. No, there. It was an interesting
Have the
song.
munchies afterwards.
It's theoretically possible. It's just a little hunch I had. I don't know. But my family and I the other night at dinner were talking about something, and that I don't know why lava lamps came up, and I thought of Soap Lake because Chris poisoned me with that song at the office when we worked together.
Thank you.
Well, I would think once you have a story that absurd in the recesses of your mind, anytime somebody brings up lava lamps, that's going to get triggered, right? So-
Yeah, well, Land Monkey, when you have time, go download that zip file in the show notes there and play the song. See what you think.
I don't know. You're not really selling it. I'll just tell you that right now.
Oh, there's some good words in there.
Yeah.
Some good alliteration.
So Target in
Oh.
Times Square did a huge lava lamp for one of their displays. And Soap Lake actually was able to purchase that from Target.
Oh, okay.
For a while, they did have the world's largest lava lamp, but I don't think they had the money to put it together properly, and it didn't seem to last long.
We got
I
a
love
task
it.
from Keats here, changing subject slightly. Where is the world's first Earth cache? The first listed Earth cache is in Australia. What's up, Chris?
Australia?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you wanted to add something to that.
Oh, and suddenly I forgot the name. It's that big, flat, tall rock there. Ayers Rock?
It's not Ayers Rock. No.
It's placed by GeoAware on January 10, 2004.
There you go. GeoNav Pros came with that data, so all we need is the GC code. But yes, thank you
That
very
would
much.
be
GeoNav
GCEC1.
Pros. GC1. EC come, EC go.
It should be, but I don't think it is.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
there you go. GeoNav Pros got it for us. Earth Cache 1, a simple geology tour of Wasp Head. GC, Hotel Foxtrot Tango 2.
And sadly, GCEC1 does exist, and I don't think it's Earth Cache. So
no.
it's
That's
near Salt Lake City, Utah.
GCEC1 is, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And Jason I believe he's from Australia. He says it is near Sydney, Australia. There you go.
Nice.
42 West Wallaby Way, Sydney.
That's right. I'm sure that's where you find
That's the only address I know in Sydney. So. I heard it somewhere.
Multiple times, right?
One of the other things that's stuck in your mind. Yeah.
Yeah. There are not many things up there, but a few things stick.
All right. Well, my friends,
folks, until next week, get out and get Earth caching in the Northwest.